has 160065 because the first column right here is the name, right? So now this is the file that we want to work with. Now, like I've mentioned, your home, your insert, your formula, your data, and lastly your developers tab, right, are the most important. Then if you have power pivot, of course you can have that too, right, are the most important tabs for you as an analyst basically. Now, you record a macro, right? It's more like you are recording what you are doing, right? So that you can now give it, it's more like you are creating a tutorial. So you can now give people that tutorial to go about performing the same thing, right? So when you click on record macro, you give it a name. Of course, like I mentioned, you are creating a tutorial. So I will call this bike data cleaning, right? Now he's asking me, where should I store this macro? Now I can store it in this particular workbook, but it will only be accessible in this workbook. I can't use it anywhere else. I can store it in a new MacBook, that is in a new workbook, or I can store it in my personal macro workbook. Now this personal indicates that I can access it anytime I open Excel, right? So I'm just going to call this data description, basically data cleaning for the bike data set, right? And I'm going to click OK. Upon clicking OK, macro begins to record every single step that I take. Now I will of course expand this guy and expand this other guy too. Then I will click on this two and select all the information that are there. I need to change the date format. Then I'll come to format cell. Now in format cell, I have multiple things. I can change this date column to anything that I want. So I want to change the format. Since I'm loading this information into my database, I'm changing the format to year. Of course, if you remember, our database uses year dash month dash date. Now I can have the time to be hours, minutes, and seconds. Now once I click OK, it will work on this. Now it has changed the date format for column. Now I can create a new birth year, right? Now this birth year that I have right here, these ones are not number, right? Now what I can do is copy this value and come to this column here and call this birth year and use an if statement here. Of course, before you write any formula, you need to first put the equals to sign. Now I'm going to say if, right, this column is equals to this thing, right, is equals to slash n, right, what should I do? The value should be put in 9999. Else, what should the value be? The value should be n2, right? If the value is n, if what is in that column is slash n, put this value there. But if not, copy the value that is in that column to this new place, and I'll close that and press enter. And now you can see that this one has 9999. If I fill, right, if I bring down my mouse to this place and double click, it will fill it down, right? Now you can see that the value that I have here is what is copied to this place, right? Because now for everywhere there is slash n, I can see 9999 I can switch 9999 there. Now the next thing is gender. I will say new gender, right? Now new gender will be, I will just copy this statement that I have here, right? But now my new gender will be that if n is now be if O2, right, is equals to 0, right, it should be unknown, because that's what they said on their platform, unknown. Now if again, if O2, right, is equals to 1, then it should be male, right? Then again, now again, if O2 is equals to 2, right, that should be female. And the last else will now be that it should be not provided. Reason is because we have some columns that has empty values, right? We have columns that have empty values. So this should be from here to here, that should be, so from O2 is equals to 0 should be unknown. No, it's not case sensitive. Now if this is false, check for this. If O2 is 1, put main, right? Now if I am not supposed to close this. Now if O2 is now 2, put female, then else not provided, then I can now have this last one here, right? And when I press enter, that has to be unknown because this place is 0. Now when I fill this by double clicking it, it will fill up everything. Now if I come to this place and go back home and do filter, like I said, filter is we are limiting this thing, we are limiting what we are seeing, and you can see there is no not provided there because there is no column that does not have a value. Now if I come to this place is 0, and I delete the value that is there, what is this showing? It's not even showing unknown, but let me just put the 0 back. It should show actually value if false. So this value if false should now be outside here. No, it's supposed to be inside of these guys. Yeah, it's supposed to be inside the. No. You don't use else in Excel. It's if. So if I change the value to be nothing, oh, that's not working. But that's supposed to. Okay, let me make it 1 and see. Is male. I made it 2. Is female. I made it 0. Is unknown. Okay. So now I'm done with those two things that I want to do, right? So now I will delete these 2 columns. But before deleting these 2 columns, if I delete them, these values that you are seeing right here would also have problem, right? So what I will do is select the 2, copy it, and then paste just the values, right? Now when I paste only the values, you can see that all the formulas that I wrote are no longer inside, right? So I can now delete these 2 columns. Now once I'm done deleting those 2 columns, I think I'm good. Now I can delete the longitude and latitude. Maybe I don't need them, right? I can delete that. I can delete these 2 as well, right? Now what's left is I want to get the trip duration. Now I know that I have a trip duration here, but the value for this trip duration is not correct. So I want to create my own trip duration, right? Trip duration. Now trip duration is going to be first I want to get the minutes from this cell D. So that would be minutes, right? Minutes where which column? This column. And I press close. Now this is the minutes, 25 minutes, right? No, it removed 25 minutes from this column. It's 25 minutes is eh? Which column? This is it. It's not limiting it. Yes. I chose the minute value. Yes. No, just the minute, right? Now, the minute of this minus the minute from here, right? Now, this will give me 24 because 25 minus 1 is 24. Now, I now need to add these seconds, this minutes, right? As it is, I need to make it seconds, right? Now, as it is like this, it will convert that value to, why is it not showing as seconds? Yes, the second should actually convert it to, returns the seconds from 0 to 59. So why can't am I going to use text? So let me plus this. I will copy this and use, instead of minute, I will have the seconds, right? Then I will have the second, right? So when I press enter for this, now I have 59, which is these two values. No, let me remove this. This is 24. So if I put this here, don't put it there, so that 24, if I add these two values together, these seconds together, yes, I need to subtract the seconds. I have 35. So this is seconds, this is minutes. So now I need to convert this minutes to seconds. Now, how I get to do that is that I can use the text function, right? Now, this text function, this is the value that I want to convert. This value right here is what I want to convert. The format I want to convert it to is seconds. That is I think SS, right? And that should convert. That's showing 00. It's supposed to show me the values. It's supposed to show the value and not what is showing. That's one thing with Excel. Supposed to show as, okay. Oh, I don't even need to convert. If I divide minutes by 60, is it divide or multiply? I can multiply by 60. Is multiply, abi? I want to convert the minute to seconds. I will multiply by 60. So that's times 60. Now I can put this together in a bracket, right? Then now this is it in seconds. So I can come and copy this one right here, then add this to it. Now what am I doing is that I'm getting the how do I want to put it? I'm getting the values in. So what second is doing in Excel is to return the seconds value, right? It's not doing this thing. So now I'm getting the values in I'm getting the values for the minutes. So 25 minutes minus a minute gives us 24. Now I'm converting that 24 minutes to seconds. That is this value, whatever this value is printing out, multiply it by 60. Now I'm now subtracting the seconds. So 46 minus 11 will give us 35, right? So now add this value that this minute will give you to this 35, and that will get us the total trip duration. And you can see that for this number one trip, the total trip duration is 1475, not 1474. Now if I double click on this, of course it will generate the values. Now we can see that some values are matching while some values are not matching. For example, these are matching, these do not match, these do not match, these do not match, this matches, which other one, this also matches, but some values do not match, right? So what I will do again is to delete this column. I don't need it. Now I can copy this again and paste just the values, and I have that. Now I can delete this column because I don't need it, and I can expand this column, and that is. Hello. Oh, okay. Ah, hello. Network go low now. Okay, it's home side. So I guess I'm just going to pause my recording. I'm done with. So I deleted the columns, right? So you saw how we generated the trip duration column. By 6. Okay, then we added the remaining seconds value to it. Yes. No. Add, like, we subtracted the seconds from this one minus the seconds in this one. Then the value was added to the minutes that we converted to um, seconds, right? So that's basically what we want to do, and we are done. So we'll go to developer and stop macro, right? Now we just created a tutorial for Excel to be using. Now let's now see how that makes our work faster. Now we'll come to this one here, this 2000 and this is 2015-07, and go to developer and come to macros. Now you can see the macro here is in personal worksheet, and the name is bike data cleaning. What do we need to do is that we just click on run and let Excel perform the magic. And you are seeing that it's generating the columns, everything itself. So let's just be looking, and it's done. Voila. for other projects. Now we can open another one. Let's open 2015-12, right? Let's open 2015-12, and that is basically what automation. It records all the steps that I took. Yes, and then it will now perform all those things back again. So we are opening another one now, which is 2015 11. This is a rough data, but we want to make it like this, like what we have here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 columns, right? That is what we want. But look at it right now, it has about 16 15 columns, right? So we want to perform the magic. Come to developer, macros, pick the macros we want to use and click on run, and let's leave it to perform the work. And that's it. So what took us about 30 to 45 minutes to do, or what can take you like a day or 2 days to do, you can do it with macro in less than 15 seconds. And this is it. The same results we have here is the same. You can see that the columns are also expanded. The same thing we have right here. Yes. And then the new names that we generated were also generated for us. So if we go home to filter and check this, now you can see appropriately fill every single information that we put out there. For all of this, we have 0 here. Why do we have 0? These are empty values. So you can see for all these for all the columns that does not exist, that their values does not exist. So when you are selecting your columns, you need to select everything basically, and that's why naming this thing is very important. That's why that name tag is important, right? And now you can see all the 99999 means that those are people that we do not have their this thing. We do not have their birth year. Their birth year is /n, right? And this kind of make it very easy for us to filter large amount of data in like God knows how many seconds, right? And that is like your top-notch tool in Excel, right? So we've talked on this thing. So then we've talked about if statements, right? Just like you write it in